Hello and welcome to yet another time on the Breakdown Newspaper Review. It's the 30th day in the month of November 2020. My name is OLUTAYO, OGUNADE. Well, this is 32 FM 94.9, your laughter station, your Fenya station, the station that is filling the world with laughter. Welcome to the Papers Review. And once again, it's good to have you join us.
My name is DELE ADEYANJU. Good morning, Tayo. I'm happy to be here this Monday, being the last day in the month of November. So, welcome to Breakdown Newspaper Review.
All right, let me take the papers I have here with me. The Guardian newspaper, Premium Times on the table, The Nation newspaper, and Daily Trust.
I have here the Vanguard newspaper, the Punch newspaper, the Nigerian Tribune, This Day newspaper, and Leadership newspaper.
Okay, the analyst in the house this morning is Dr. OLUTAYO, who is a lawyer and lecturer at the late City University. Good morning to you, Doctor.
And top of the day to you.
Okay, let's go straight to the papers. And this is to also let you know that we are live on YouTube, 32FM 949 Ibadan. YouTube, 32FM 949 Ibadan. You can drop your comment and drop your headlines there. This morning from the Guardian newspaper, this one here, 2023, Buhari will not handpick his successor, says Lukman. Okay, forego Napoli crush rumor in honor of Maradona. Investor split on duty cut for imported vehicles. Still from the increase in LDR and worry over toxic loans. And Kano youth wants humble, peaceful governor in 2023. Humble, peaceful, okay? How God promised me I would be governor by Oyetola urges continued support. DELE renames Ijo National Academy after revolution hero. Medical expert disagrees with NIMR on discrimination against PLWHA. Pregnant woman orders escape death as fire guards building in Delta. Buhari Zulum, Mon 53 slain Borno farmers. Victims seek help. Still from the Guardian newspaper, let's see some more. Okechukwu Eta trade tackles over Shomale's comeback bid. Undume apologizes to Jonathan for harsh criticisms. I didn't defect to APC over presidential ambition, Umahi reiterates. Okay, still from the Guardian newspaper, let's check out the sports side. Raw's current system of constantly changing players dangerous, says Chukwu. Fixing sport infrastructure more important than cutting grass, says Dari. Maradona's death treated as possible culpable homicide as investigators search physician's home. Okay, still from the Guardian, let's see some more. Lekki shooting between facts and fiction. Is there a government by gunmen? That's a question from the Guardian. Is there a government by gunmen? ASU, IPPIS, and the Accountant General. That will be all from here. Let's go to another paper.
From the Punch newspaper, airline hike airfares by 100% as operating costs rise. Airlines hike airfares by 100% as operating costs rise. I see Dr. Jadoku adjusting it on the seat. Okay, I'm sure that you relate with that story very much. 12 banks earned 133.92 billion naira from e-payments in 9 months. TCN admits national grid's collapse, plans probe. Solar system, 25 million Nigerians to pay 4,000 naira monthly. And more stories from the Punch newspaper. TCN admits national grid's collapse, plans probe. Oyema advises new stockbrokers on professionalism. Stock markets extends weekly gains by 390 billion naira. Police finger IPOB arrest 3 as explosion rocks Wike Father's church. Command nab suspected cultists for attacking vigilante group. Lagos task force destroys 1,700 illegal shanties and shops and killing them softly. Sanwo-Olu orders intervention after Punch story. Akwa Ibom woman kills mother, dismembers body. Teenager arrested for accidentally setting Delta building ablaze. Robbers who attacked Ogun worshippers during vigil arrested. 33-year-old Ebonyi driver arraigned for 24 passengers' death in crash. Mob lynches a suspected kidnapper. We have more stories from the Punch newspaper. Well, let's see. Ogun hoodlums snatch soldier's gun, hold customs officers hostage. Court restores oil field revoked by Kerry, awards $20 million in damages. Well, I think we have to move to another story. Right?
Okay, from the Nation newspaper here, attack on farmers most violent, says UN. How Nigeria can realize its potentials by leaders. Troops deployed to rescue kidnapped Borno farmers. Professor, 10 others killed in Kaduna, Plateau, Benue. APC plans emergency NEC meeting for the 8th of December. Explosives detonated at Wike's father's church. Okay, OPEC ministers meet on oil cuts. Court restores oil fields to transnational energy. Education is panacea for insecurity, say experts. Egyptian firm plants gold mining investment in Nigeria. Ogboro, federal government guaranteed my debt to AMCON. Varsities workers insist on fair sharing of 40 billion naira. Nigeria needs 400 billion naira yearly to fix federal roads, says Senate. Okay, still from the Nation newspaper. Umahi, I planned my defection to APC with IM orders. Ajaokuta Steel needs 30 billion naira to hire Russian experts. IMF seeks unified exchange rate for naira. Outrage over killings. Okay, 7 court suspects held in Lagos. Robbers attack worshippers in Ogun. Zulum urges recruitment of more youths into civilian JTF. Okay, let me take 2 more headlines here before we go to another paper. Afe Babalola, lack of quality education, cause of Nigeria's insecurity, and also positioning aviation to ride recession storm. Let's see another one.
From This Day newspaper, federal government to treat fresh EndSARS protest as attempts at regime change. Outrage grows over killings as 43 Borno farmers buried. Banks' profits rise to 677 billion naira despite COVID-19 harsh conditions. Committees submit harmonized 2021 spending estimates to National Assembly on Thursday. Malami, APC tackle INEC speaker over certificate of return. Buhari rolls out auto gas program, targets 1 million vehicles. Buhari rolls out auto gas program, targets 1 million vehicles. 7 killed in fresh attacks on Kaduna communities. World Bank partners Nigeria on 140 billion naira solar systems installation. Editors urge media practitioners to adopt creative use of technologies, and police arrest 3 suspects as explosion rocks Wike's father's church. APC holds emergency virtual NEC meeting December 8th. Oyetola, how God promised to make me governor.
All right, here from Daily Trust, Borno massacre, death toll hits 110 as 43 buried. Over 110 killed in Borno rice field, UN. National power grid collapses as outages persist. Still from there, Nigerians express anger over Borno farmers' killings. Governors question security agencies' capability. Governors question security agencies' capability. End killings, Lawan Gbajabiamila tell security agencies. Protect yourselves against terrorists. CNG tells northerners. Borno massacre, Nigeria on autopilot. PDP, insecurity, farmers abandoning harvest. Nigeria needs 400 billion naira annually for road maintenance. Senate committee. UTIDE, FRC, VIO, NEMA move to prevent road crashes. 3 billion naira needed to resuscitate Ajaokuta Steel. Senate committee. Okay, let's see another paper this morning.
Moving on to Vanguard newspaper, Southeast leader strategized for presidential ticket. Nimasa boosts maritime knowledge with e-library. Insecurity, why Amotekun is ineffective in Southwest. YCE, Afen Ferry at Bekoya. Others, police in Lagos State arrest 7 suspected cultists. Outrage over killing of 43 farmers, fishermen in Borno. CBN boosts cassava value chain with 25 billion naira in 2020. Police arrest woman for slaughtering mother in Akwa Ibom. Did Gawan loot the central bank? It's a question from the Vanguard newspaper. Police detain 81 people in France following security law protests. Food supply, NGO calls on government to stop multiple taxation roadblocks. Nigerian Governors Forum describes beheading of Borno rice farmers as obnoxious, wicked, reprehensible. Lekki Toll Plaza, CNN faces test of integrity. 25 million Nigerians to own 5 million naira solar systems at 4,000 naira monthly. More headlines from the Vanguard, but we can just take some.
110 people killed in Boko Haram attack on Borno farming community. This is one headline you can find in all dailies. Academics, other experts discuss Kama impact on churches, proffer solutions. Okay, let's see some more from here. 86 killed, 9 kidnapped in violent attacks across Nigeria last week. 86 killed, 9 kidnapped in violent attacks across Nigeria last week, while COVID-19 is less prevalent in Africa than the U.S. As according to a study, Boko Haram, Buhari condemns murder of over 40 Borno farmers. Over 40 farmers killed in Borno officials, okay? Let's see some more. Ghana decides Ghanaians to elect president in battle of two giants. Widow petitions IGP accuses late husband's siblings of harassment, victimization. Ethiopian army claims victory in Tigray assault. Buhari to roll out auto gas scheme for cars in December. Government starts health insurance scheme for uninsured Nigerians. Nigeria demands apology from UK government over MP's allegation against Gawan. ASU strike end in sight as lecturers consider new government proposal. Ghana decides current economic model in Ghana not working. Presidential candidate. We'll go on a short break now. We will be back.
And I'm hoping there'll be a better future.
There's no dance back.
My head's so far away.
Mornings are for dreamers.
I'm a dreamer, yes, I'm a dreamer. Oh.
The break of dawn for champions.
Champion, 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 champion.
On 32 FM 94.9.
32 FM
94.9.
When it comes to watching your favorite comedy videos, are you a giggler, a snorter, a faller, or maybe you are all of the above?
Whether it's comedy, football, Niger movies, cooking, learning, or drama, go from one video you love to another on YouTube. With the new video data bundle from MTN, enjoy even more affordable, longer hours of video content. Just text YouTube to 131 now. With YouTube, now you go tire.
Taking your first step at owning your home.
It's easy as ABC.
At Run Home, turning tenants to landlords all year round.
Happy people, happy landlords. With our drawn homes, life is rich. Happy people, happy landlords. With our drawn homes, life is richer.
Whatever you do, whoever you are, you can build your dream home with Adron Homes.
Oh yes, at Adron Homes, we turn tenants into happy landlords. Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year from all of us at Adron Homes. Adron Homes, making the incredible affordable.
Uncle Dentist, what be cavities and how Colgate take they protect my teeth from cavities? Shay, they use Kung Fu?
No, dear. Now, hole for teeth they cause most tooth pains will be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, take brush every day. The confirmed formula could help keep natural calcium inside our teeth. We could protect them from tooth decay.
Time don't reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate. Because Colgate locks calcium in.
Yes, cavities out!
Now, the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
I am for payment, service, and banking. I am 9PSB.
Everybody listen up. Let me tell you something. Better service don't land. Don't just sit down there look.
Introducing 9 Payment Service Bank.
the bank for everyday people. Simply dial *990# or download the 9PSB app on iOS and Google Play Store to start banking. Our bank agents are right there in your neighborhood, and with any phone, you can open an account at your comfort, pay bills, and start to send and receive money instantly. 9PSB. Now, that's our bank.
32 FM
94.9.
All right, welcome back. It's a Break of Dawn newspaper review on 32 FM 94.9. My name is ADEYANJU, and with me this morning is...
Of course, my name is OLUTAYO, OGUNADE. Thank you, dear listener. Thank you for staying tuned. And if you're just joining us, a very good morning to you. We did mention earlier, Dr. Lord Jedokun is right here with us in the studio. We started the conversation off air, but... let's see. Doctor, good morning to you once again.
Well, top of the day as usual.
Okay. Major story across tabloids this morning is now this is real massacre, right? Okay. Yeah. Borno massacre. Death toll hits 110 as 43 buried. That is what we have here from Daily Trust, and of course can find from all papers.
First and foremost, I think our thoughts and of course our prayers must go to the various families scattered around Borno who have lost loved ones in brutal and heinous fashion. But again, I think that whatever credibility, whatever competence that the government has laid claim to, many will say that with the slaughtering and with the massacre and with the beheading of those people, such credibility also followed suit. I don't think they can stand the test of scrutiny in terms of security, in terms of competence, and in terms of the capacity. It's quite clear that Nigerians are unsafe in most parts of the country today. Borno is just a metaphor for so many things going on, but the vividness and the brutality, also shows you the capacity that the Boko Haram and its adherents can operate without the security intervening or without the security pursuing them, apprehending them. Will they be apprehended? I doubt it. This is going to be the last. That's my fervent prayer, but I doubt it. Things remain the same. Security chiefs in place. National security advisor was my senior in school, but the reality of it is that it's been a failure with the lots that are in charge. And there seems to be no ideas. It seems to be the same thing again and again, hoping to get a different result. And of course, we know in saner climb, what you do is that when things go wrong, you find different ways and different strategies. And I just make one point. There's a man called Black Scorpion. Adekunle, very successful in the war. For 2 years, he was successful in the war front. But after 2 years, he ran out of steam. And they had to redeploy him. Even Murtala Mohammed, too, after some time, he was redeployed from the war front. And that's what happens normally in the military circles.
The whole thing is looking like the head has lost the capacity to, run the rest of the body. Now, why is Mr. President finding it difficult against many calls to sack the service chiefs?
So, sorry, before Dr. Jedokun comes in on that, it seems we like to repeat groove in this country. Like before the Buhari administration came in, most Nigerians voted for this administration because they wanted him to fix the insecurity. But it seems for this years, it's still the same groove we have been repeating. So now, coming back to Tayo's question.
Well, I think it's a matter of cognition. I think many people don't want to accept it. I think the people around him know that is not operating at full capacity. And I think cognition is something that allows you to process a lot of information, take a lot of strategic decisions, and address problems. I'm not certain. I'm not sure. I'm not a medical doctor. I haven't seen Mr. President before in my life. But from what is going on, it doesn't seem he has the cognition to do it. And the people around the centers of power, they're not governing. It doesn't appear they're governing for the country. It appears they're governing to protect their own self-interest. And therefore, what we're having is confusion at the center, inactivity, ineptitude, and basically the same old statements coming from the press secretaries.
All right.
When it was contesting, it moved across all states of the Federation, saying that it was going to fix the problem of insecurity. So why do we now say he's not in charge?
Well, the first term, yes, he was more coherent. But we know that by the second term, when he was contesting, that it was really Oshibajo most of the time that was intervening on his behalf to articulate the position of the government. So I think by the second term, most people knew anyway that there was not going to be much progress made.
Is it about age?
No, I don't think. There are people who are Biden is 78. And Biden, if not for the strain or the fractured, is able to relate with facts and grasp. But Baba Awo was 78 before he passed. But even at that, Baba Awo was still at his sharpest. I just think, it might be genetic. But what is quite clear, you understand, is that you can't hold Mr. President down to an interview. You can't even tell him to give an analysis of the security situation of Nigeria. Yes, it's an ex-general, but, that's in the past.
He has said it many times that he likes to work with people who are loyal to him and who doesn't anyway. But so maybe these army chiefs or security chiefs are loyal to him and it's his loyalty rather than competence that we demand for.
I think it's going for familiarity. I think when you have limited capacity or cognition, what you are comforted by is what you're familiar with. And change is not something you can cope with. I think sudden changes will upset him. Sudden changes will sort of send him, will just create confusion. So that's my own analysis, you understand, is that he's comfortable with that which he knows, other than going into the unknown.
He has expressed grief, but what will be the final solution? You said, we all pray that this will be the very last of such a massacre in the country. And this is,
I think the final solution must be a rejigging of the security architecture, and that includes personnel. That includes the strategy of the army. What really is the strategy? I'm not sure that any of the military forces are embedded amongst the Boko Haram. There is no way, without embedding yourselves, without going for the networks, without going for supply and transport that they use, because they are logistics, they move around. And of course, for them to move around also, which means that they must have some kind of allegiance, even in parts of Borno. So those are the places where you need to exploit, so that even as they're moving around, you have your people embedded, moving around with them, from that point of view. But we're not doing any of that. And then we just need fresh blood, new thinking. Fresh blood and new thinking. If we don't have that, most of these guys are nearing 60s. They're tired. I'm sure they're tired.
Prices of food items going up. Farmers are scared to go to the farms, as a result of, or fear of being killed by Boko Haram and all of these bandits and all that.
But I don't think we've seen the half of it yet. I think we've seen part of it. Part of it was induced by the pandemic. Part of it is induced by insecurity. But greater insecurity, we're going to get greater food shortages. And so we haven't seen anything yet. And I think the government feels that they can control the narrative. I pray, that they are right. Because if the narrative goes sideways, then you and I, you understand, we're in for it.
But do you think state governors have a role to play in this, especially northern state governors?
Well, they have a role to play, but what they've decided to do, and what they've decided for a long time, is to spend most of the time in Abuja. And until they take governance very seriously, for instance, even the Sultan of Sokoto is taking governance more seriously, but he doesn't have any power, political power. He can only speak. So yes, they have a role to play. It is their constituencies, and they have a measure of executive powers, but they must take governance seriously, and they must relocate back to their states. Because it seems that many of them have abandoned their state. And that sends the wrong message to the people and the wrong message to the bandits. Because the bandits feel that they have this governors on the run. In Sokoto, see what Sokoto governor said. Sokoto governor said, we'll continue to negotiate with the bandits. Why? Because we don't have enough security. So that's part of the issue. The security that we have are not even enough. From that point of view. 150,000, there was some recruitment. I'm sure it's more than 150,000. 300,000 in total, but 150,000 were involved in the handbagging duties, and then 150 were really involved. And I'm sure that number may have been increased, but the reality is that we cannot see it.
Should we still be interested in de-radicalizing Boko Haram, insurgents, and also bringing them back in society, reintegrating them back to society?
It hasn't worked. They've tried it in bits and pieces. It hasn't worked. I don't think they can be radicalized. I think they need to be infiltrated, and I think they need to be obliterated. And I think we need to win the hearts and minds of the people where they are. The part of the issue why Boko Haram can thrive in Borno and the northeast is because there's poverty. It's because there's unemployment. All those things are fertile grounds for Boko Haram from that point of view, because they hold on to religion, a perverted view of religion, and that gives people some hope, from that point of view, and a sense of belonging. And the Nigerian state is not doing that, and therefore you have access to all these teeming youths who prefer to flock to Boko Haram than to remain hungry or become Almajiris, as the case might be.
All right, while we talk about insecurity in the north, over the weekend, 7 other people were killed in fresh attacks in Jamal local government area of Kaduna State. Ekiti Ondo axis down here are also not safe. The kind of news we're getting from that part of the country is not cool at all.
Remember, Governor Akeredolu wringed up his hands and said he's no longer in charge in terms of security. I mean, they brought the Amotekun on board, but I fear that it come on board too late. I mean, okay, they said Amotekun was involved in rescuing the wife of the press secretary or something like that, but I think it's too little, too late. And they will be overwhelmed because Amotekun doesn't have weapons. All they have is maybe the intelligence or maybe presence from that point of view, except they rely on jazz, you understand, from that point of view. But there are a lot of people who are skeptical about that. Yes, a whole swathe of the country has been overwhelmed. The police are traumatized, and some of them are simply not going to do their jobs because they don't want to be slaughtered, and desecrated, as happened in some cases.
All right, let's go see another story. But the question on the lip of many Nigerians is there a government by gunmen? Do we have a parallel government in Nigeria run by gunmen? That's another story.
Well, I mean, it's a legitimate question because governance in Nigeria seems to have failed. Governance seems to be dominated in many parts of the country. You could even say that Boko Haram is in charge. In the northwest, you could say that the bandits are in charge. And in some parts of the southwest, you can say that some herdsmen, or whatever coloration they might be, are in charge. So if you look at large swathes of the country, even if it's Benue, Taraba, even in the east, there's lawlessness everywhere. And all the government has in response are press statements, staid, old, recycled, routine press statements, inspire no one, inform no one, and simply just leave us in a quandary.
Dr. Yedoko, there was a time in this country that if you listen to the news, it's only in foreign news you hear about bomb blasts, killings and all that, but it's become part of us. Like this morning, the entire news we have is between 25 to 30% is about killings and all that. Now, assassins attack Benue Prof, slit throat. Nowhere is safe in this country.
Nowhere is safe. That's the problem, and that's the danger. And people begin to ask the questions, what are we doing here? Well, we don't have any other country but Nigeria. We will stay here and we'll remain here and salvage it together. That's a very familiar phrase, isn't it?
8 killed, children missing in Kaduna communities, fresh attacks. It's always been about Kaduna.
Yes, Kaduna. But the problem also is not just Kaduna, even that axis. Understand that Dara is not even safe. Katsina is not safe. There's so many areas there that are not safe. Yes, so Kaduna gets the greater fair share of the coverage. There are many small towns, and I guarantee you there are killings going on everywhere that are not being reported. It is only the headline ones that we grasp. In many situations, a state of emergency would have been declared of some sort. But I really don't know what the government is there for.
All right. So the national power grid has recorded a collapse as its restoration efforts wobble since 12 noon on Sunday. According to records from the grid operators, the grid started recording decline in power generation on Sunday morning and fell low to 2,921 megawatts from 16 generation companies as about 10 others shut down.
Well, we don't really know what's causing this, but what is quite clear is that over years and years and years, there's been underinvestment in our electric power grid. And the chicken has been coming home to roost for the past couple of years, and it's becoming more acute. We've brought in Siemens, and Siemens is supposed to help us upgrade our facilities and to increase the megawatts. But ever so often we get all these outages and so on and so forth. I think an explanation is owed, to many Nigerians, because we are in recession. If we want to leverage ourselves out of recession and we don't have power plants operating, we don't have electricity flowing through the national grid, then we have much more of a problem. And what it also means is that a lot more of us are spending money on fuel to fuel our generators. And we also know that generators themselves are not the most healthiest devices or equipment. But I think an explanation is owed because people already pay so much in order for the investment to go into this power grid. And we don't seem to be getting enough returns. Somebody needs to ask questions. In saner climes, there would have been some resignations.
And in other news, the federal government will this week begin installation of the system designed to enable 25 million Nigerians not served by the national grid have access to off-grid power system. The system is designed to fundamentally address the challenge of power supply in the country, particularly in rural areas. But for people in urban areas, they are grasping with non-supply of power.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think the whole strategy of the government is that if you can take those people in the rural areas off the national grid, then maybe the pressure will be less. I spent some time in the Gambia, and I discovered that most of the Gambia, particularly the rural areas, there's not much in Gambia anyway in terms of population, they all have solar. Most of the houses have solar. And I think in Nigeria we have constant sunshine. If we can invest in solar to a degree, it will solve many of our problems. If we cannot get our national grid right, on that scale, then we might as well find a way to go solar so that at least you and I can have regular electricity and do what we want, rather than rely on some grid somewhere, which is going to be subject to outages and so on and so forth.
All right. We are live on YouTube, 32FM 949 Ibadan, 32FM 949, live on YouTube. You can drop your comment there. Of course, DELE didn't mention that those guys will be paying some money too for that.
Yeah, that 4,000 naira per month from the rural areas. I'm not sure if it's going to be convenient for them. In the rural areas, mostly agrarian communities, fishermen and all that.
Yeah, well, the money is not that much. Well, to me anyway, I don't know about them. But whether it's going to work is another thing. What I think is this is going to be piloted, and then we'll see whether it's going to work from that point of view. But they don't have any option, because really to get the wires and the trunks to those areas might be, so the cost of doing that might be beyond reach.
Let's talk about, sorry, DELE. Let's talk about Ajaokuta. We need 3 billion naira to facilitate the engagement of experts from Russia for reactivation of the 21 plants and in the iron and steel complex. I mean, Ajaokuta here.
But the problem with Ajaokuta is quite fundamental, and I think the whole question about Ajaokuta was that many of the parts of Ajaokuta came on board before you had the raw materials. But also the problem of Ajaokuta is that the rail track that was supposed to bring many of these raw materials to Ajaokuta itself was never completed, And Ajaokuta is supposed to be open furnace. What do we mean by open furnace? It means that if you don't have all the raw materials together, you can't even run the furnace, you understand? And the furnace has to run 24 hours completely, So you have to have regular supply of raw materials, and which we don't have, from that point of view. And some people argue that the technology we got from the Russians was old technology, and that most of them had left. Now you want to engage them with that money. I wish them all the luck in the world,
Well, the Ajaokuta story. Okay, we need to take a break right now.
32 FM
94.9.
32 FM
94.9.
Uncle Dentist, wetin be cavities and how Colgate take dey protect my teeth from cavities? Shey dey use comfort?
No dear, na hole for teeth dey cause most tooth pains wey be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection take brush every day, the confirmed formula go help keep natural calcium inside our teeth wey go protect them from tooth decay.
Time don reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Yes, cavities out!
Now, the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
This festive season, we're going to make every moment special. Whether it's the food, drinks, and more than enough drama series to bond over.
Nobody can take my kingdom from me.
It's a season of laughter and cheers with friends. It's also time to cheer for your favorite team. And the little ones with one question.
Daddy, can I watch my shows now?
Of course you can.
Let's go get it.
Then take that perfect outfit for more Owambe and turn up groove on TV.
Just know that whatever your festive, we've got local drama, sports, international series, movies, kids entertainment, party shows, shows to make you laugh, and even shows to make you roll on the floor laughing.
That's a lot of shows.
Get a DSTV decoder, dish, and 1 month compact subscription for only 18,600 naira. It's your moment with DSTV.
When it comes to watching your favorite football videos, are you a chanter? An analyzer?
Let's change to 4-3-3 formation.
A coacher?
Let's replace this goalkeeper now.
Or maybe you're all of the above.
Whether it's football, comedy, Naija movies, cooking, learning, or drama, go from one video you love to another on YouTube. With the new video data bundle from MTN, enjoy even more affordable, longer hours of video content. Just text YouTube to 131 now. With YouTube, now you go tire.
Ọkọ mi, ṣé bọ́ọ̀sì yìí ti kún ṣá? Ṣé ìyàwó akọ ló jókòó sí? Ó yá pé nọ́mbà ọkọ yẹn fún mi.
Màámi, ẹ má ṣe yọnu.
Dá mi lóhùn o jàre. ó dá tí ẹ ṣe fídíò kọ̀ pàápàá kí n rá wakọ̀ yín ọ̀hún.
kò lè tó yẹn màámi ṣùgbọ́n ó màámi ẹ̀yin náà máa ti mọ bó ṣe lọ gan ni kẹ́ fídíò call kẹ́.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni kẹ́ àtìgbà tí mo ti bọ́ sórí òpó ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ Airtel ni mo ti ń gba dátà lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ nígbàkúgbà tí ń bá rówó ìpè tí pè mí nílẹ̀ yá àti sókè òkú sì ti di kọ́bọ̀ mọ́kànlá péré fún ìṣẹ́jú àáyá kan.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni o máa bọ̀ lórí òpó ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ Airtel lónìí kí wọn náà bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí gbádùn gbogbo ìpè rẹ ní kọ́bọ̀ mọ́kànlá fún ìṣẹ́jú àáyá kan pẹ̀lú dátà ọ̀fẹ́ ní gbogbo ìgbà tó bá ra owó ìpè. wàá sì tún gbádùn ìlọ́po méjì dátà fún oṣù mẹ́ta lórí àtẹ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ tó ní agbára 4G tó gbòòrò jùlọ. ó ní ìlànà àti òfin o.
wọ́n sọ fún awakọ̀ yẹn kó ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ jàre.
màámi
Airtel, the smartphone network.
egbògi kan ti délẹ̀ yìí egbògi àtẹ̀jẹ̀ ṣe ni ó dára fẹ̀jẹ̀ gidi gan Veneto cleanser ló ń jẹ́ o. Veneto cleanser ló ń jẹ́ o.
ojú rẹ̀ ṣàǹjọ̀lọ̀ lójoojúmọ́ kí làṣírí ẹ wà rí.
Veneto cleanser ni.
já mi sí ọ̀rẹ́.
Veneto cleanser egbògi àtẹ̀jẹ̀ṣe tí bádọ̀tí ara wọ̀ yá ìjà rẹ̀ wọ́n mọ́lẹ̀ ṣe wọ́n yẹbẹyẹbẹ. inú tó ń kú tó ń dàrú gbòdògbòdò kò bára rẹ̀ èrí inú ẹ̀jẹ̀. amọ̀nà ti dé o. Veneto cleanser egbògi àtẹ̀jẹ̀ṣe tí a fi ewé àti egbò ṣe ní ọ̀nà tìgbàlódé. NAFDAC fòǹtẹ̀lù MA1 Nigeria Limited ni wọ́n gbé Veneto cleanser jáde. a wà ní nọ́mbà 17 ọba akínyẹlé off Adeokun Street Aláàfin Avenue Olúyọ̀lé Estate Ring Road Ìbàdàn telephone 08034051533 fún títà àti rírà ìwọ náà darapọ̀ mọ́ wa Veneton cleanser àmọ̀tẹ́kùn egbòogi tí ya gbogbo kòkòrò inú ẹ̀jẹ̀ wẹ́lẹ́wẹ́lẹ́.
32 FM
94.9.
FM 94.9, the station that is filling the world with laughter. It's the Break It On newspaper review reaching you live from our studio located on the 4th floor Cocoa House, Dugbe in Ibadan. Well, let's go straight again to some of the stories we've written. I told you earlier, you can go on YouTube to see what is happening in the studio. 32 FM 949, you can drop your comment there because in a bit also, I will open the phone lines to take comments from you, Dele.
All right, Dr. Edokun, you are talking just off air now about how airports are in Gambia, in Ghana, and some other countries, not as big as Nigeria. Yeah. But I said that, like, I think 2 days ago, some people were traveling from Lagos or something by rail, and it stopped during the night, and there were just people were vexing just to put it that way.
Absolutely, it was trending, wasn't it? I actually think it was Kaduna, Abuja, and that end of things. And I think the lamentation of people was that we've got so much loans, you understand, for the rolling stock and to build these rails, and yet we still can't get it right. And one word, that's what's going on. But I'll tell you also what is going on. I'll tell you that there's a racket going on in many of the train stations where a lot of times you can't get tickets. And to get tickets, you have to go through someone, to go through someone, to go through someone. And it makes you ask the question whether these monies that are got from fares are actually going to invest. Because if you get loans to run these things and you don't invest to make them run well, then they're going to break down eventually. And we're going to be back to square one. And I think it's a shame that some people are hell-bent on sabotaging, you understand, rail. Maybe it's the transporters, I don't know. But some people are hell-bent on doing that. And the only way for us, the future for us, is to remove a lot of the pressure on our roads, you understand? Moving them off to train as an alternative, stress-free, it should be. But it's becoming stressful. Because if you have them breaking down in the middle of the night and people staying there for hours, then number one, they become sitting ducks because some of these areas are not even accessible by cars. And it's happened about three times. Yeah, 3 times.
I equally feel that the most disturbing aspect of that particular story, Dele just referenced now here, was the fact that, we talk about technology transfer.
Yes.
All right. Yes. But we'll need the Chinese to still come here to fix the train for us. So we talk about technology. What are we gaining?
Really? We're getting some debt. We're getting peonage. Peonage means we are perpetually in servitude to the Chinese. I think we love it, actually, because some people benefit from it. Some people get funds from it. The country doesn't benefit, but there's some people who benefit from Nigeria being in that perpetual state of servitude. And it's quite unfortunate that we're just going backwards, from that point of view. When I was in secondary school, King's College, Lagos, I had people coming from Maiduguri, and they came by train. No quibbles, nothing. Their parents put them on the train and they found their way to Lagos and they returned and there were no issues at all. In fact, it was an enjoyable experience. Now we are 40 years later.
Okay. The proposed policy in the 2020 finance bill that seeks to slash duties and levies on imported vehicles has raised conflict of opinions among investors. While some argue it will stifle local automobile industry and worsen unemployment crisis, others hail the idea, saying it will boost the economy. What's your take on this policy?
Well, I think there's a conflict. I think what you want to be able to do is that you want the nursings, nursing is about the only one now. You want the nursings to grow. And for them to grow, the cars have to be affordable here. If people get cheaper tokumbos, because the tariffs are low and the tokumbos are very cheap, why would I go for a nursing vehicle, you understand, and pay 5 million if I can pay 1.5? From that point of view. So from an economic standpoint, it means that our dependence will be on Tokumbo, which are basically second-hand used cars, fairly used cars, or, used cars in that respect. And many of us will not have access to the brand new cars from that point of view. So that's one way of looking at it. But again, there's a lot of employment created by even that importation of a lot of Tokumbos. A lot of people have made a lot of money, and because of that, they've been able to set up businesses.
Around here anyway, used things get, some second value.
Yes, they get some second value. But you then ask the question, is if we had so many local car producers, then maybe that argument will hold sway. But we only have nothing. How many of them? There are very few. So the argument that is going to stifle the local industry doesn't even exist. So that's the problem, you understand? Well, if you are saying that it's going to stifle the creation of local industry, that might be an argument, for us to pursue.
All right, I think we need to look at the story. My Malabuni is the governor of Yobe State, and he said he spent at least 3 days in a month in a state. I don't know where that is coming from. I don't know, maybe there was an allegation or something, yes. But why 3 days? He's expected to be in the States like every time.
I guess he expects people to be grateful that he even graces the state with his appearance. But I understand, and maybe it's going to be refuted, but I understand that many of the governors in the north, it is symptomatic of them not to spend time in their state for a variety of reasons. Insecurity, and sometimes they need to have access to Abuja because of what Abuja offers in terms of monthly allocations and so on and so forth, and in terms of comfort. And of course, when you're in Abuja, it's very difficult for you to be harassed, by some hungry constituents or some of the governed. But I think it's unfortunate. I think it's a tragedy of governance, and I think when we went into this new civilian era from the military time, we thought that at least it would bring about.
We have a caller here. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Tayo.
Good morning to you, comrade.
Good morning, Dr. Dezuko.
Good morning, sir.
Let me first start with what Bishop Desmond Tutu said. Bishop Desmond Tutu of Africa said, if you decide to maintain neutrality in the situation of oppression and injustice, he said you have taken the side of the oppressor. Life is no longer sacred in Nigeria. The youth has come out to protest. I don't know where our papa, our mama, our daddy and mommy who are listening to us at home are also not joining us in protest. Because from what Dr. Jodoko has rightly spoken, God bless Dr. Jodoko, it's as if this government is no longer listening to the member of the public. And they have decided to ignore the clarion call to sack the security chief. If that's the situation, should the people, our papa and mama at home, children at home, should they just keep quiet like this and be looking until the death come to our doorstep? Because láyé ìjọ ni o, ojúlàmú tó báyìí o. Tayo and every one of us at home, we are no longer safe. And we cannot just keep on like this. If you are telling government we elected here, please do this for us. And they told the death here, Abba, in Campbell,
okay, let's keep saying it. We won't stop talking it until we get the kind of result that we want. 0906-2009-49, 0809-7009-49. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, thank you. My name is Olaf, coming from Agbo.
All right.
Yes, thank you. Please, I feel we Nigerians, the things we were supposed to fight for are not the things we're actually asking. Now, recently we've known that our federal government are more afraid of the foreign countries, and I think we should see that as a strength. So it's always very better if we can call on all these foreign countries to restrict all Nigerian government top officials not to come to their country, and even if they are coming, they should check everything they have, because all the money they steal from here, they take it there. All our resources, they take it there to develop those places. So, and I would suggest that we can do that kind of protest online again and talk to the likes of US, UK, the Dubai, those places that they take our money to. Then those people will restrict their movement. And I think, because now imagine when UK said they don't want us, they will ban top Nigerians from coming. Imagine they started speaking up.
Right. Federal government to treat fresh NSAS protests as attempts at regime change, and they're going to criminalize it.
Okay, those who bribed Buhari back into presidency in second term should be held responsible for all the shortcomings of the Buhari-led administration. Please, when you send us a message, please put your name. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you, Mr. Bolaji from Makubo. This is real massacre. But my advice to the federal government, to the Nigerian army, is that they should stop announcing any of their activities. Within 48 hours, they announced that they neutralized bandits, about 68 of them. See what happened. So these people are showing their strength. They are showing that they are on ground. It seems as if our army will not. I don't know what is happening. This is in fact, is anybody that sees the way these people were buried, the way they were killed, slaughtered, beheaded, and the way they were buried. In fact, everybody will be crying. Nigerian army should not announce any of their activities anymore. They should do it silently. Good morning. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for your call there. Okay. Omotolani Abiola Omobasharon. Good morning to everyone in the studio. Thank you, Omotolani. Said, okay, let's say this 1090620949. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
This is Fagbemi from Ibadan.
All right, good morning, Mr. Fagbemi. Let's have your headline.
You say, what I'm going to say now is to serve as a lesson for the future. You see, what is happening now, I've been saying, it is not ordinary. Before you install a king or a leader in the olden days, you make consultation, divine consultation, you confide divinity to ascertain what is going to happen in the future. What is happening now? The killings, massacre, suffering is as a result of forceful leadership on Nigeria, devoid of God's will. This is the repercussion. If anybody cares to listen, then Nigeria have to learn.
How do you mean forceful?
In the future?
How do you mean forceful?
God's intervention before making somebody a leader. All right. I pray for Nigeria there will be a deliverance. Good morning.
Man, Dr. Jedokun, Buhari was elected second term.
Well, the second was elected first term, and the second term was disputed, but the courts confirmed him as duly elected president. So at least they had a sizable number of people who wanted him to come back. And I think the hope was that if Buhari came back, people around him would support him, they will execute policies, and there will be an improvement. But many people will suggest that it's been a disaster, and that really governance does not seem to be as a rock. That what we're getting are intrigues, and what we're getting is incompetence layered on incompetence. We just read out something about NSAS being criminalized. I think it shows you the government doesn't understand the Constitution, and the government doesn't understand free speech. And that's the reason why they're failing all over the place, is because basically their policies don't seem to be working. And of course, the bandits seem to have the stage.
32 FM
94.9.
I'm a very, very big guy, but I don't joke with my giggy bites. So MTN get the free guy with this data plan for the midnight. 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. 2 gig, oh boy, I can live the life. IG, TikTok is ready to go, oh boy, I'm feeling fine. Because 11 to 6 in the morning, IG, TikTok, morning, 2 gig, there for me. MTN boss, yes, of course,
MTN Pulse. Do you? Dial *406# to join. Everywhere you go, MTN.
Uncle Dentist, wetin be cavities and how Colgate take dey protect my teeth from cavities? Shey dey use comfort?
No, dear. Now, hole for teeth they cause most tooth pains will be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, take brush every day. The confirmed formula could help keep natural calcium inside our teeth. We could protect them from tooth decay.
Time don't reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate. Because Colgate locks calcium in.
Yes, cavities out!
Now, the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
When it comes to watching your favorite cooking videos, are you a multitasker? A note taker? A show-off? Or maybe you're all of the above?
Whether it's cooking videos, Niger movies, learning, comedy, or drama, go from one video you love to another on YouTube. With the new video data bundle from MTN, enjoy even more affordable, longer hours of video content. Just text YouTube to 131 now. With YouTube, now you go tire.
It's the Smart Kids Show! Smart Kids, are you ready to have a happy moment on radio, learning, and at the same time having fun?
How many sevens can we get in 49?
That would be 7.
All right. By how much is 55 more than 33?
55 more than 33. 22.
If you share 16 coconuts among 4 people, what will each get?
4.
That's interesting. How many 3s are there in 18?
1.
And a king had 15 horses. Share amongst 5 people.
3.
Okay, that's interesting. We got a winner this morning.
Then join Auntie Yellow on 32 FM 94.9, Mondays to Fridays, 7 a.m.
Smart Kids Show. Let us learn, unlearn, and relearn.
Ẹ jẹ́ n sọ fún yín pa Zainabu bó bá ti jí láàárọ̀ yóò kọ́ jẹun tó dáa. Yóò wá gbé pabambarì lé lórí Didion syrup of hemoglobin vitamin B12. Ara ti mókun ọpọlọ ti jí pépé iṣẹ́ yá.
Lẹ́ òjò.
Káàárọ̀ Zainab. Ìdí nù ti fi máa pegedé lẹ́nu iṣẹ́ rẹ̀.
Jọ̀ọ́ bá nọwọ́ mọ̀wé hùn.
Àti pàápàá ń bi eré. Didion syrup of hemoglobin ní èròjà vitamin B12 nínú tí yóò mú kọ́pọlọ àtara rẹ̀ ó jí pépé ní ìgbáradì fún àṣeyọrí tí ọ̀lẹ́gbẹ́ ń gbà gbogbo. Mu ṣíbí méjì Didion péré lójoojúmọ́ pẹ̀lú ṣíbí lásán tàbí kọ́ pòpọ̀ pẹ̀lú ohun mímu ẹlẹ́rìndòdò tó bá fẹ́ràn. Ọ̀yá gbéra ńlẹ̀ bí akọni pẹ̀lú Didion.
To be healthy, strong and active, I say. Take Didion.
Didion syrup of hemoglobin vitamin B12. Agbára tí ń roni lágbára. Ẹ kàwé pélébé inú rẹ̀.
32 FM
94.9.
FM 94.9, still taking your calls and comment on the program 0906200949. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. Yes, please.
This is Shagun from Oyo.
Okay, good morning, Shagun.
No, it's very unfortunate we have many killings throughout Nigeria. My take is this.
Hello, Shagun. Hello, Shagun, can you hear me?
Yes.
Please move away from your radio set or turn down the volume.
I'm moving from the radio.
Good.
My take this morning is this. Where is the state governors and local government chairmen in security of Nigeria? The security votes the local government chairman get, state government gets, what are they using it for? Where is the marketing in Southwest? You know, the other time when this NSAS protest started, we encouraged it. When the launch starts burning police stations, this is the end of what will happen. Let me just, in a few seconds. Somebody told me that the armed robbers came to their area
gave them phone number of police officers. We called them, they said they are not coming. They said the armed robbers now said them that all these musicians, pastors that support NSAS, it is these stars that guide them in their concerts and their churches. Why they want to end them? That means they have skeleton in their cupboard. All of us should please embrace security in Nigeria.
All right, we should all embrace security in Nigeria. You asked the question. Security votes, what is it meant for?
It's not even constitutional. It's not in the constitution of Nigeria. I think it's by convention and by tradition that people have appropriated such sums. And those sums are not accounted, they're not accounted for. And that's part of the problem. It suggests that if we invested that money appropriately, we could secure many parts that remained unsecured.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Oloide.
On the state of security in Nigeria, I don't think we need to start laying emphasis on the state force. This national security we are talking about this time. And the Amateco team that they've started, at least, although we've seen the work they've been doing, it's very unfortunate that along the line, maybe they were not able to prevent it, but at least they've worked so many meters to even retrieve somebody that was kidnapped. So to me, I believe when we talk about security, we need to first focus on national security, which is the problem we have now. Bad roads, everything. People are dying on the road also, insurgency and other things. These are things the federal government need to work on. Have a nice day.
Thank you for your contribution. Doctor, huge security votes and massive insecurity in Nigeria. We have to go now.
Yes, it's obvious that the security vote is not being used to counter insecurity, and it's being used to sort of lace the pockets of some or others. And I think that needs to be addressed. Either you use it for security or the money is redeployed for some other purpose.
All right, I think that's the size of newspaper review this morning. Thank you so much for coming, Dr. Oluoje Tayo. I think tomorrow is another day.
Very well. Thank you, dear listener, much more for your time and your comments on the program. The program will be back tomorrow, same time. Up next is Smart Kids Show with Auntie Yellow. Good morning.